Welcome to the Parkland Report. I'm Stephanie Stewart, Vice President for Strategic Partnerships and Workforce Innovation here at Parkland College, and also your host of this show where we talk to the people making things happen here at Parkland College. Today I have two esteemed guests, one from Parkland Athletics and the second from Parkland Community Education. But first on the show today, I'd like to welcome Brendan McHale, our Athletic Director here at Parkland College.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
So tell us a little bit about, we were talking a little bit before the show started about how does one become the athletic director at Parkland College? What has your journey been to have this role?
Yeah, journey would be a good way to put it. I am from local District 505, grew up in a small town called Ivesdale, but I actually went to school here for 2 years as a student, later graduated in a 4-year school, but I was an athletic trainer, so with sports medicine for many years, and I was an athletic trainer here at Parkland College for 14 years.
Wow.
So I kind of was in athletics, but not in the athletic directing or coaching mode, but more taking care of athletes that were injured. And then I got into administration at Carl Foundation Hospital and stayed there for several years doing exactly that. The athletic director position opened up, I applied, and I was fortunate enough to get the position.
We were lucky enough to get you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
And so for our viewers who maybe they've attended a game or two here at Parkland, but can you give us the high-level overview of just what is Parkland's athletic department? What does that full picture look like for our community?
I would say family. When everything is going the way you hope it does, everybody's rooting for each other. And that's not just the student athletes rooting for other teams, but attending them, but also the coaches helping each other out. So yeah, when everybody's pulling the rope in the same direction, we're always going to be more successful. And that's no secret. That's the recipe for Parkland's success is family unity, everybody working towards a common goal, which is trying to improve all of our student athletes, both on the court or their sport, whatever chosen sport is, but also in the classroom. We're very proud of our student athletes' academic success. Mm-hmm. We have team GPAs consistently, for the most part, all of our teams over a 3.0, and we've even had teams above a 3.5 as a team, and that was recently our softball team. Was almost a 3.6, and they had 24 girls,
wow,
24 ladies on the team, and then several other teams were not too far behind them. So, competing both in the classroom, but also in their chosen sport. So
that's exciting.
Yeah, it's great.
A lot of hard work and dedication that goes into that. Yes. So how many sports do we have, and how many students is that total or approximately at Parkland College that are on one of our teams?
Sure. So total number of teams currently, we are at 8 teams. There's 4 female teams and 4 male teams. Baseball, softball, and then we have men's and women's soccer. Mm-hmm. And then we have volleyball, golf, and then lastly, men's and women's basketball. Of those 8 teams collectively, we range anywhere from 145 student athletes up to almost 170 athletes, depending on the year, depending on how many athletes end up choosing Parkland College to play their chosen sport. So it's pretty much consistently over 150, closer to 160 on the average. But yeah, the goal is always to make sure you have enough to compete every day in practice, so you're ready for those games or matches, whatever sport we're doing.
And we've had some great success over the years. Do you want to talk about some of the big
Sure.
national championships and other big victories over the years?
No, we've got 8 national championships. It's easy to brag about our coaches, both past but also present coaches. Right around the corner here, in fact, next week, our volleyball team will be competing in Cedar Rapids, Iowa at the national tournament, Division II. And this is several years in a row, but Cliff and Ron Hoppy Hastings, those 2 coaches along with their entire staff are consistently going to the national tournament. And it's certainly not something that's easy. I mean, they work tirelessly, training their team to compete and do it at a high level, and they do it. The the easiest word to describe them is consistency and greatness. They do both of those consistently, and their teams are great. When they walk on the court, they're ready to go. They've been prepared, and that's just our volleyball team. Our golf team, last 3 years, they have had a national championship as well as a national runner-up last year. Coach Stevens does a great job bringing in the players that he's got, and they're ready to go every year as well. So that's just two of our teams, but those are the ones that just competed recently. Men's and women's soccer just wrapped up their season. The men had a very good season. They had a chance to go to the national tournament. We just found out approximately 3 hours ago that they did not. There are 4 at-large bids, and we were hoping to be one of those 4 teams that were selected to compete in Tucson, Arizona, but we were not selected. So it was unfortunate.
Maybe next year.
Yeah. They had a great team. Coach Mark Sikora does a great job with them. And then women's soccer just finished up their season approximately a month ago. And they had a strong finish to the season. They won, I believe it was 3 out of their last 4 soccer matches in the regular season. So that was a nice, strong finish. We had 2 interim coaches that were former athletes here. They were assistant coaches that became interim coaches. So they did a great job stepping in, and it's always great to see our alumni come back and give it back to their sports. So that was great. So,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
So this winter, if somebody wants to come catch a basketball game or something else that's going on campus, what are our sort of like winter sports into the springtime if you're looking to come out and support the Cobras?
Yeah. Our schedule is on, you can go to Parkland College Athletics. We have a website that gives all the specifics, whether it's a home or away game. But yeah, you can come out to watch our basketball games. Our men's and women's basketball teams just started their season last weekend. And our women are off to a 3-0 start, as well as our men are off to a 3-0 start. So it's a great start with both of those teams. And you can come out to Dodd's Athletic Complex, attend a basketball game. Admission is $6, but if you got a Parkland ID, you can get in free. Children are $3. They do a great job. They're, again, both easy teams to root for, a bunch of great student athletes that, again, take care of business on the court as well as in the classroom. And then shortly after that, we've got baseball and softball starting out. And they will start their seasons either late February or early March. And our softball coaches, Dan and Christy Paulson, who I talked earlier about, but their softball team went to the national tournament last year, got 5th in the nation. So, yeah, again, very easy to brag about Dan and Christy. They also, they function at a high level. They do everything the right way, which is great. Their student athletes are very respectful, just like a lot of our student athletes are. And then our baseball team, Zach Pitch, new head coach. He's wise beyond his years. He's 25 or 26, but does a great job of leading his baseball team. He's been working as an assistant coach for the last 2 years, and this year he'll be the head coach. So he's very familiar with this team, and I know the previous head coach was definitely leaning on him for basically helping to run the team. And Zach stepped up to the plate, and they do a great job. They'll start their season, I believe, early March, where they'll go try to play a little further south. They had a great season last year. They're kind of getting back to our winning ways in baseball, which is great. And we were 1 game away from getting to the championship game in the region tournament, which would have taken us to the national tournament. We ended up losing to the national champions. But anyway, yeah, they're both of those teams would love to see a lot of fans out there. So come on out and join us at the baseball field or the softball field. And then basketball season, as we said, is well underway. So come on out and check us out.
Great.
Yeah.
And I know in the news recently, we've heard a little bit about a new addition to the lineup for, I believe, the upcoming academic year. So do you want to give a little bit of preview for our viewers?
So we are, the application is open for cross country. So we're going to, women's cross country, I should say. We're going to have a women's cross country team. We are currently accepting applications for anyone willing to apply to be the head coach of this brand new returning sport. So we had cross country back in the day, and when cross country and track and field were dropped, unfortunately, obviously, that just wasn't something that could continue at that time anyway. But with the help of VP Dr. Tramey, we got it back in play, and we're hoping to have better than 10, closer to 15 or 8, maybe even more cross-country runners. This area is very rich in success and talent in girls cross-country IHSA, and we're hoping that some of these athletes that are in this area will choose Parkland, which is would be an easy choice for me to say, but I think they would be very well served if they could come to Parkland College, and we're going to do everything we can do to put a championship running team together, and we're going to start next fall of 2024. And as soon as we get that head coach, we're going to roll it out there.
Very exciting.
Yeah,
very exciting.
Yep.
Just the last question for you, just kind of a plug. You guys had a really great dedication recently with the Reed Richardson Room.
Yes.
And what has that meant for the program?
Well, it was definitely when you walk into this room, so the room was recently dedicated to Jim Reed, former coach, instructor, and athletic director here at Parkland College, and Connie Reed, who was also an instructor and a coach as well. They were here, Parkland College, I want to say close to the very early starting days of Parkland College. And we had a generous contribution from a former coach and instructor, Tim Wolf, who made a generous donation in their name. Mm-hmm. And we used that money to help renovate a room that the student athletes can use, so they can go in there, and really anyone can go in there and use it for, like if you've got an hour in between class and you want to watch TV or just take a break or do some studying, there's a computer in there as well. But it really spruces up the room, and it gives us a chance to not only honor Jim Reed and Connie Richardson, but also to show how proud we are of our athletics. There's some trophies of championships in the past that we've had, whether it be conference, region, or national success. And it's just a great way. When you walk in there, you can feel and see the rich history of success with Parkland College athletics. And again, very fortunate to have the dedication or to dedicate those two individuals, which are just icons here as far as Parkland College and athletics goes. So.
Yeah, it was such a special event and heartfelt comments, and just great to see students using the space as intended.
It was great.
So, Brendan, thank you so much for being on the show today. We appreciate all that you do here at Parkland.
Thank you very much. Great to be here.
Yeah. All right, we'll go ahead and take a break, and when we return, we'll have Triss Henderson, who's the director of Parkland Community Education.
The Highway Construction Careers Training Program is an IDOT-funded job training or job readiness program, commonly called a pre-apprenticeship. So it is boot camp to help folks enter. I consider it boot camp. It's a fast, heavy training to prepare folks for apprenticeships in the construction industries.
I like to do stuff with my hands. I love putting things together. I love taking things apart too. So naturally working with my hands, and I know this is a field that's going to be around forever. So I was looking for a career, not just another job.
It's mainly hands-on. There's some basic lectures, but other than that, it's all hands-on learning and getting the experience that you need.
What brought me here is I'm looking for a career. And so the trades is a good way to, if you're a hands-on worker, to get your hands dirty and start working.
It interests me from what they offered, not only experience-wise, but like the things that they give you, the tools and all that. And you got taught by professionals in the trades.
I wanted a change in career field. I've been with the post office for the last 5 years, and just got kind of burnt out, and wanted to learn more things and eventually get into the trade and just have a more fulfilling feeling in a career field.
The fact that I really wanted to build a firm foundation in my career and actually to learn something which is in a different wheelhouse and a new skill set. It was very challenging, and I don't regret it. I appreciate the challenge.
It was actually a very great experience. I never thought that there would be this much opportunity, and you meet a lot of great people, like the instructors and everything. They're awesome. They know a lot of things, and the way they teach to keep your attention the whole way.
You look at them after about the second day and say, oh, I got a lot of work ahead of me.
Yeah.
But the fact that they are here and willing to learn is the most important. That's the first step.
Right.
That's the first step.
Yeah, I definitely was a little nervous as when starting anything new. It's always a little nerve-wracking. You never really know what to expect.
Yeah.
But they made it really easy to come in and get acclimated. So
I think the main thing for us is we have excellent instructors. First and foremost, on top of that, we work as a team. You know, if something needs to be done, if something needs to be cut or measured, it's just someone hops in and does it. Classroom setting is just a lot of teamwork, a lot of good constant communication, and just makes it for like an easy and like fun learning environment.
I was very nervous the first day coming in. I was also excited. It's really intimidating going into something that you don't have prior knowledge in. There was so much to learn. I knew that there was so much to learn.
I would never want to take it back.
Yeah.
Everything I've done, the people I've met, all the things I've learned, kind of made me reevaluate my life and find that person I thought might have not been there anymore.
I think they can do a lot. I mean, the opportunities are endless for them, and the training that they received before or during the program and the skills that they have now where they can come and enter into an apprenticeship program.
It's a great way to gain new experience, and it looks good on a resume. And like I said, you meet a bunch of important people in the trades that you can build relationships with.
do it. It's so informative. You learn so much. I don't think I would have been able to get to where I am or even know about the career path that I'm looking to go into had it not been for this class.
Welcome back to the Parkland Report, and our next guest is Triss Henderson, who is the Director of Parkland Community Education. Welcome, Triss.
Well, thank you.
So for our viewers, they may or may not have taken a class with your team before. So for those that are not familiar with the mission and the work of community education, can you talk about what your team does every day?
Sure. So we engage the community in learning by providing opportunities to explore, grow, and succeed. And the cool thing about our department is we serve a wide audience. So, you know, kids ages 6, and I think like our oldest customer is like 93 or 94. So we've got this diverse audience, also employers. We provide short-term training and learning opportunities for the community that focus on professional development, personal interests and hobbies, and then we do customized training and solutions for employers.
A little bit of everything, and so we're going to talk about all the different parts and pieces that you just mentioned.
Okay.
I want to start a little bit on the personal development side. I think oftentimes if you aren't looking to make a career change and maybe you don't have a little one, this might be the first foray into what Parkland Community Education has to offer. So what sorts of personal development classes are on the menu, if you will, and what is the response from community members when they take those classes?
Yeah, so one awesome thing, we have some very passionate instructors who are just amazing. So they make the classes fun, engaging, and so there is such a variety. We have fitness, so you know we've got water aerobics, yoga. Let's see, Argentine tango, I believe, is something new, as well as intro to line dancing. That's been a popular most recently. We have painting classes and wood carving and history classes. Cooking is also very popular. Sushi, we have a sushi series, cake decorating, and also cookie decorating. I mean, such fun things for everyone. We've got, I think I mentioned some history classes, sometimes about war topics, and other times a very different, not maybe so serious, right? Some other, let's see, upcoming things. We also have day trips as well.
What about
and
international
overnight.
travel?
Oh, yes, we do have an international travel coming up here in the fall of 2024. We'll be going to Greece. So this will be our first time since COVID, so we're really excited about that, and that should be coming out very soon, all the information. So be looking for that.
I'll be checking my inbox.
If you want to travel, we do have day trips, and then usually an overnight too. So I think French Lick, Indiana is, we actually we're doing it twice in December because it was so popular.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's a great overview. It's really, there's something for everyone in the personal development, or to sign up with a friend. I think that is a common thing that people do too, is to say, hey, let's take this class together, and it's something to change up the routine.
Yeah.
But if somebody's looking to get workplace skills and maybe even change their career on the professional development side, what does that landscape look like in terms of the offerings that your team puts together?
Yeah, so again, there's a variety. I would say one of our most popular is our CDL program. So you can learn to drive a truck, and it usually takes about 6 weeks full time. And so that's can be quickly done, right, to earn a good income. And then also we have a unmanned aerial systems or drone certification. We have things like if you want to become a broker, so you want to sell real estate, and that can be done in the evening, and we offer that twice a year. We also have a pretty awesome leading edge series or leadership series where we focus on communication styles and the principles of leadership, managing change, mastering conflict, giving recognition to your employees, those types of things that are needed in everyday work. We also have things like in Excel, you want to become more efficient, maybe you want to learn to use macros or pivot tables. And then, other things such as CPR and mental health first aid, certification, things like that.
That's great. Yeah, lots of career changes, but then also, man, I'd really like to be a little bit better at this particular skill like the Excel, right? Pivot tables might be new terminology, and so maybe it's time to take that class. So that sounds great. And the short-term training also is a great opportunity to get into new careers, but then a lot of employers are looking to upskill their current employees, and we do things that are more customized toward them. So what types of ways do you work with employers directly on more specific needs?
Yeah, so yes, we do that too. Again, I would say leadership is probably our number one request, and something we do the most of. And other things include some welding, consultation, certification. Sometimes it's just a short-term workshop, depending on what they want to achieve, for their employees. We do ESL training, also Spanish for supervisors is something we're doing right now. We also are doing things like monitor nitrous oxide and oxygen sedation for dental hygienists.
We'd like them to know how to do that.
Yes, so that's pretty cool and just something, different, maybe you wouldn't think of. Trying to think what else. Let's see.
So
HVAC.
Oh, HVAC.
So, HVAC, and we have the EPA exam prep course, which has been pretty popular. We're doing some automotive training as well, short-term training there.
Great. And if an employer is thinking, man, I wonder if Parkland could provide this to my team, how would they go about that process to do some customized training?
Sure. You could call. You could email us at communityeducation.edu. And let's see, oh, on our website, we do have a form that you could fill out just to say, hey, I'm interested in this topic, or here's what I want to achieve with my team.
Great. And something else that I wanted to make sure to mention that's part of your team that's a really unique opportunity is the Highway Construction Careers Training Program, which is funded by IDOT.
Yep.
But what is that program? What are students? It's intensive. So what are students doing, and then what are some of the career outcomes that they see from that program?
Sure. So let's see. It just depends. We offer it twice a year, so it varies between 12 and 16 weeks, a full-time program. And things that we cover are just some basic skills, budgeting. We cover some construction math. You actually get credit for construction, a credit class, and also welding credit class as well, sorry. And then we are doing hands-on training with different trades. They actually either come to us or we go to them, and the students get to learn, from the actual trade unions, which is pretty cool. They also get to work on equipment that they would be using, like skid steers and cranes, and forklifts certifications. So it's a wide range of experience, so that they can really have a good grasp of what the construction industry looks like, what you would be doing if you worked on a highway construction project, and if that is something you want to pursue. So we call it kind of a pre-apprenticeship program to prepare to get into one of the trades, whether it's the electricians, carpenters, laborers. So it's a variety, plumbers and pipe fitters.
It's a great opportunity. It's been exciting to see some of the successes and of the students once they get that job and they're on their way.
Yeah.
After that. And so finally, if you're not sure, maybe it's construction or maybe it's something else that you would be interested in doing, there are lots of exploration opportunities and summer learning opportunities, or really throughout the whole year, that are happening for youth. So can you talk about that side of the shop, if you will, and what all the opportunities are there for kids in our community?
Sure. So during the school year, we have a few options. Usually there are some arts and crafts camps, or just individual workshops, culinary for sure, on all different topics. Maybe we're going to focus on some breads or baking, or maybe it's decorating cakes or cupcakes or cookies. We also do archery, and that has been really popular, and I know it's popular in the Champaign-Urbana area. And I think, there might have been some titles won there with Centennial and Central and such. So what else chess is another thing that we're doing during the school year. And then during the summer, we have a lot more opportunities, camps. We have our popular College for Kids, where we're serving ages 6 to 13-year-olds on a variety of topics, messy science, a lot of STEAM-based classes. Again, culinary is very popular. Lights, camera, action, very similar, to maybe what might be happening here today in the background, where youth get to experience that. We also have our Discover You camps, where those are career exploration for ages 13 to 18. And we cover things like welding and machining, automotive. We have Vet Med camp that is really cool. We also have things like a smorgasbord in health professions, where you can get a taste for a variety of health professions. And then this past year, we also had ag tech. Yeah, again, kind of a smorgasbord of all the different careers that you could have in the ag tech field. And we're always looking to have more. Construction would be one of those that we want to add. So instructors, we're always looking to add those to all of the areas that we serve. And that's always fun and challenging.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's such a great dovetail into our mission of helping folks get into those careers. So it's great to be able to reach out as early as possible to say, come to Parkland and get that experience. And then for your whole life, essentially, you can continue to engage with us.
Exactly.
It's incredible. So Triss, thank you so much for coming onto the show today.
Thanks for having me.
We really appreciate it. Well, that's it for today's show. We so appreciate you spending some time with us here on the Parkland Report to hear about Parkland athletics as well as community education. As always, we keep you informed on the people making things happen here at Parkland, and we'll see you next time.